Well, baby, if your name is Kenya Moore, it looks like Bravo. Baby, let me get to the point. Bravo has suspended Kenya Moore indefinitely, meaning that they have fired her. Why? Because of the thing that Media Takeout was the first to break, and they had the most accurate reporting that Kenya showed a picture of Britt doing what Kenya claims she does for a living, and there was something in her mouth. People used a lot of words, revenge P, this and that. Kenya issued a denial talking about, I would never distribute a picture, somebody's personal picture or something that wasn't public record. People took that as a denial. We took that as what it is. Kenya was walking in the gray area saying, okay, fine, I showed that picture at my spa lunch, but it wasn't revenge porn because it was a publicly available picture. Now, get this though. I put my ear to the ground to hear what's going on. They're saying that Bravo is scapegoating Kenya. Now, listen, whether you on Team Troll or Team Not, baby, we're going to have to deal with this truth. Kenya showed that picture. All right. However, Bravo's trying to make Kenya the scapegoat. They're saying they're shutting down and suspending filming of season 16, baby. The Real Housewives of Atlanta are pretty much canceled. When I first started YouTube, this is a while back when Portia was beefing with Candy. This is a while back. I told you my people, and go back and find the videos. I told you my people at NBC Universal literally said that the Real Housewives of Atlanta are done. They were winding it down. They were sick of it. The salaries were too heavy. They weren't getting in return. Maybe, and they were going to wind it down. They thought halfway through, okay, you know what? Maybe we'll revamp it. But I literally predicted to the year, to the time of when it was supposed to be wound down. Now, instead of completely canceling it, they said, let's do what we did to New York. Let's do a reboot. However, even though the New York Real Housewives of New York reboot was good, nobody watched it. So they said, let's do a reboot where we just keep a few legacy people and we have a whole new cast. It's going to be cheaper. It'll be like a last gasp. If we take it off after that season, nobody can care. That's what Sweet 16 is supposed to be. Maybe. Tell me why the Real Housewives of Atlanta producers are using Kenya as a scapegoat for their own incompetence. Now, again, we're not arguing about whether Kenya should have posted those pictures or not. For the record, I think not. And I'm a fan of Kenya. And even I was just like, yeah, that was the wrong move. Andy Cohen got a lot of lawsuits against SA. Bravo got that thing with Carolyn Manzo, Brandy Glanville. There's all this stuff going on. Bravo is looking like the creep network. They don't need this heat right now. Second of all, I don't know why Kenya would do that. But third of all, y'all, and this is where they're making Kenya their scapegoat. Think about it. These are all newbies. From what I'm hearing, none of what the newbies are filming is really working out. It's not giving that. Yeah, we know Shamia, but Shamia's new. And one person can't make a whole show, especially a new person we don't know. Third of all, Portia and her storyline is DOA. She wanted to show she was a rich African wife. That ain't happened. Now she's divorced. She doesn't want to talk about the Simon divorce thing, okay? Plus, Simon is literally blowing up every single storyline that she can have. Every time she starts to move forward with a storyline because people in Atlanta talk, he exposes it, and then she got to go get a new storyline. Whether she's crying, saying, I didn't know, I've been faithful. He's like, no, you're not. You've been cheating. Oh, I've been this. And if that wasn't enough, every single time she filmed, they got to throw the footage out. Remember when she was filming in the house and then he got that cease and desist? She can't film in the house anymore. They had to throw all that old footage out. Even her driving around in the car of her mom or her sister or whoever, they got to throw that out because you're not even allowed to picture Portia in that car anywhere near that car. It seems very small, but it is what it is. So Portia's storyline, done. Kenya did this match with Britt where Bravo is making an example out of her, which they have to because all the other people on the other shows are in trouble. So they're making an example out of Kenya, but they're also using her as a scapegoat for the fact that this season of Real Housewives of Atlanta, Sweet 16 is DOA. And we can pretty much kiss Real Housewives of Atlanta ever coming back. Portia don't got no place to film, right? She already showed from 2013. I'm sorry, season 13. She can't carry the show. And it's no shade to Portia. Real Housewives of Atlanta is an ensemble cast. The only person that could really carry the show was Nene. But to be honest with you, Nene never had scenes where she wasn't either going against Candy, going against Kenya, going against Phaedra. It was still an ensemble where they had a lot of stuff to go. So what are we doing? Bravo came in and messed up. Let's take a look. Potomac messed up Married to Medicine. And now they messed up Real Housewives of Atlanta. Why? Because they moved away from what their core base was. And now, unfortunately, Kenya is going to be made the scapegoat. Now, whether you believe she deserves it or not is not of my concern. We're not getting into teams at all, right? Again, I feel sorry for Kenya. I know why she did it. Real Housewives of Atlanta. I mean, I know why she does. It doesn't mean that it's an explanation, not an excuse. Last season, Real Housewives of Atlanta completely screwed over Kenya and her hair care thing. She knows this thing is winding down. She wanted to make a future. She needed to make sure her salon was shown. She needed the publicity. So she decided to do something to shut everything down. Now, you cannot tell me that production did not know what Kenya was going to do. They're saying they didn't. Somebody knew. But even then, Kenya is a grown woman. She's 50 years old. Kenya got enough sense to know what she should have not been doing. Again, before there was the public backlash, right? Production was fine with what happened. They thought it was juicy. They thought she made the season. But with the public backlash, and also Britt, if she's smart with money, and according to Kenya, she in that business, so maybe she should be, I would sue them. Why go in Real Housewives of Atlanta when people are talking about you, trying to fight you, exposing you, do all this stuff, when you can literally sue Bravo, get a couple cool million, and then walk away at the bank? And guess what? They still might put you on and get you your own little spinoff. You know me. I would already call the police and be trying to get something out of this. It is what it is. Let me see who's the first person to report that she was suspended. Adian on Twitter said that Kenya is suspended from filming Real Housewives of Atlanta. I believe they were getting these reports from Michelle of ATLian. Some person said Kenya is such an idiot. Did she forget about the Candy Phaedra scandal? Why would she set herself up like this? Sean said, Real Housewives of Atlanta is in shambles. Kenya is suspended. A reboot flopping before it even aired. Fire Sheree, and it's going to cost you. How about this? How about fire Nene and it will cost y'all? As much as people don't want to admit, Nene really was, whether you like her or not. And again, you can, just because you like someone doesn't mean you can't call a spade, or just because you dislike someone. Nene was the heart and soul of Real Housewives of Atlanta. That show was actually built around her. As much as they laughed about doing Nene in and her being broken, all this other stuff, look at Bravo. You just lost a multi-$100 million cash cow, all because of Bravo's. Whatever Nene lost, she only had a small paycheck. The network lost. Like literally a Hallmark show that anchored all the other housewife shows. Think about it. With Nene, Phaedra made sense. Kenya made sense. Candy made sense. Portia made sense. Again, they were all an ensemble cast. And again, you could argue maybe it wasn't Nene. Maybe it's the fact that in an ensemble cast, you pulled out a very important ingredient and it all fell down. But I would go to say you can pull Portia out. It was kind of cool. You could pull Phaedra out. It was kind of, no, it's not true. Every time someone got pulled out, it just changed. So everybody was needed and they all played their parts. Bravo was just stupid for thinking that anyone could be the star. No, everybody plays their part. Anyway, Bucci DeSlee said, according to Michelle ATLian, streets are saying Kenya is allegedly suspended from RHOA until their investigation is over, and Bravo isn't happy about the spa salon stunt. Filming is halted, and Bravo advised the cast from interacting with Kenya. Now, why are they advising her from saying don't interact with Kenya? I'll tell you why. Because Bravo is scared of leaks, and now that Kenya knows she's fired, if it was me, I would just leak the whole season and just ruin everything for everybody. Wouldn't you? Baby, I ain't gonna be the only one fired. Anyway, another person said, oh my God, they paused the entire production, not just Kenya. Yeah, Kenya is definitely going to be fired. She should have saved the stunt for much later in the season when it wouldn't have been so easy to edit her out or replace her. Illy Rhea said, yeah, Kenya better lawyer her up. Bravo is definitely throwing her to the wolves. I can't overstate how dumb this was when Bravo execs are already under fire for multiple lawsuits, not to mention Carolyn Manzo is suing them for SA. Matt Beefs, and this is, I believe, a Kenya Moore Stan account, said, Matt Beefs exclusives. I can confirm that Kenya Moore is in fact suspended while they investigate the incident. I was sent proof. She most likely can't be sued or have charges pressed on her, though. Thank God. Oh, let's see. Riri said Bravo is going to make Kenya an example. They really don't have a choice. They need to make an example out of her to prove to their other pending lawsuits that they don't foster a hostile work environment for SA or SH. Y'all listen. What y'all think about this? Do y'all think Bravo is overreacting? Britt better sue and get a bag. But I will say one thing. I think this is the end. I think Real Housewives of Atlanta will be canceled. Again, as much as they're saying they can suspend Kenya, but keep on filming, they're pausing production because this new cast isn't working. Portia's still running, doesn't want to talk about her stuff. The new girls, listen, nothing's gelling. I think this is the end of Real Housewives of Atlanta. And it wasn't because of what Kenya pulled at the spa. This is just a convenient excuse. It's tanking because at the end of the day, the producers took something so great and they ruined it, just like they ruined Married to Medicine, Potomac, and all those other places. Anyway, y'all, let me know what you think in the comments. I'll talk to y'all later. Bye.